Good morning and welcome to the show. Yes, there have been shell sightings on the beach here, and I have two people here from the Gulf Coast Shell Club. I have Gwen Lawrence. Welcome to the show, Gwen, and Jim Bruner.
Thank you.
Jim Bruner with two N's. Thank you for coming on the show. Now, you know, normally we have a nice little piece here that's provided to us by Foham Furniture because they have beautiful things. But this is a work of art by nature, isn't it?
Indeed so. They go back in history at least 500 million years. And the architecture and the textures and the design and the colors have inspired man for as long as we've been building. If you look at a lot of the architecture in Asia, the roofs on buildings and things like that, I can point to shells that are found in Asia that are identical in design to those buildings.
So they really haven't changed much over the centuries, over the millions of years, actually.
No.
Or hundreds of thousands of years. So the Gulf Coast Shell Club, you collect these things? You do what with them?
Exhibit them and learn about them. The purpose of the club is to learn about shells and to educate other people about them. And of course, we're living in an ideal place to do that. And they are Robert Louis Stevenson said, "It is better to be a sheller than to be born a millionaire."
Wow. Okay.
So how about that?
I like. He was onto something, perhaps. Who knows? How did you get into this hobby, Jim?
This is probably the fourth best place in the continental United States to collect shells. Most people don't realize that, but we have people come from all over the world to collect shells in our area because of the variety that we have here and the access that we have to them.
How did you get into this hobby, though? What first attracted you, and why did you join the Gulf Coast Shell Club?
I think we're first attracted to the beauty of the shells that are naturally there. I mean, we're just, everything about them is marvelous.
They are beautiful things. And may I pick one of these up?
Yeah, they don't move very fast. You don't.
Okay, he won't run away. No. The occupant is long gone. But if I wish you could feel this thing and really see it the way I'm seeing it here. And I know you have some other stuff here to show us. And we got to run off to the local weather. But perhaps on the other side of this break, we'll look at some of those and talk about the event you have coming up.
Thank you.
We're going to run off to your local weather, brought to you by the West Pittman Law Firm, westpittmanlawfirm.com. We're going to go shelling right after that. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the show. I'm here with Gwen Lawrence from the Gulf Coast Shell Club. Did I say that right?
You did it.
And the Gulf Coast Shell Club is going to have a shell show.
Right.
Is it going to be by the seashore?
Absolutely.
Because that would be too much for me to say. The Gulf Coast Shell Club having a shell show at the seashore?
At the Linden Senior Center.
What do we got? We got the Panama City Beach Senior
address?
Center at 423 Lindell Lane, Panama City Beach, Florida. And that's going to be Sunday, right? Oh, it's going to be Saturday and Sunday.
Starting Saturday.
So it's Saturday, July 19th, and Sunday, July 20th at 10 a.m. You're going to have this Gulf Coast Seashell show. Shell show. I'm shell shocked from shells. You got some beautiful things here, Gwen.
Yes.
Let me tell you, this is nature's artwork, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
And now, can you tell me just a little bit about maybe this big honker over here?
Well, these two shells are the same. This is a very young one. It's never been exposed to a lot of heartaches and tides.
That's kind of a youngster there.
Yeah, very
that
beautiful
little orange
color.
one.
But this is the way he might look later. And then, of course, this is when it grows really big.
There's so many variety of things. I mean, this is really God's artwork here.
Yes, it is.
Now, this one really caught my eye. What is this? It looks like a scallop.
That's a
of
line.
some sort.
Yes, it is a scallop, and it's I call it a pecten. It belongs with the other pectens, but it's called a lion's paw pecten, and it's edible just as like other scallops are, but it has this beautiful color.
Isn't that so? Now? Can you? Are these found in local waters? Or
Yes,
are these, variety
I think all of these are in. Is this one in local waters, Jim?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, so these are all can be found in the Gulf of Mexico.
A diver brought this one up, and this is called a Spondylus americanus, and it is attached to reefs right here. Some of them have a lot more color than this one, but the white one is beautiful.
Now, if I wanted to learn more about shells or join the shell club, or try to identify and see you have a book here.
Yes,
what do I do? Can I call you? Do you guys have a website? Or?
Listen, everybody is so technically minded these days that I would say go to the computer.
And
look,
just Google it up.
Yes, we have a website. We have a blog, and you can find out everything we're doing.
And that's the Gulf Coast Shell Club.
Yes.
And you guys are headquartered right here in Panama City or Panama City Beach?
Yes, yes.
Now, how many members do you have?
I would say we have around 30.
Okay, but they're
not all really active members, but they are members. And we're going to work on this show right here, and we're going to have scientific exhibits and artistic exhibits. This is a juried show, so that makes it special.
It's a what show?
A juried show. In other words, there are people who are top in their field, have written books and so forth, and they're going to judge these exhibits, so they're going to be extra special. Plus, we have dealers that are bringing in things that you can buy, and we're also selling bags of shells that have been collected here on the beach. $1, $2, $3, depending on how many you want. There are people who do crafts and use shells, and it's hard to collect as many as you want to do something with.
Gwen Lawrence, we are so out of time, it's not funny, but this is really fascinating stuff. I wish you a lot of luck with the Shell Show and the Gulf Coast Shell Club. Just Google it up, check it out, and don't miss the Shell Show, Saturday, July 19th, and we'll be right back.
Hi, this is David Lovett, and this is your Mad Hatter Minute. Summer is upon us, and the heat is here. And have you ever gotten into your vehicle, open the door, and you get hit with a heat wave? You sit back down inside, and the first thing you do is turn on that AC system. You want your AC to be cold. You want your car to be cold so you can be comfortable. Up to your surprise, you turn on the AC system, and it blows warm air. But if it's blowing warm air, you have a problem. You have a problem somewhere back in your AC system, and the only real way to tell what it's going to be is take it to a certified technician to identify what the problem is. Now, your AC system is a closed system, which means that the freon that runs inside the AC system should not escape. A common problem over winter time is that people don't run their AC system. We have very mild winters. People let their windows down, and they stay cool with just the air from the car. This doesn't do good for your AC system. There's oil inside the AC system that keeps the seals lubricated. If you don't use your AC system in the wintertime, the seals shrink and you lose your freon. Summertime comes back around, you turn your AC system on, and all of a sudden you don't have any cold air. So you take it to a certified technician, they put freon back into it. There are two styles of freon. The old style freon that was damaging the ozone was the R12 freon. That's not made anymore. In June 1995, the federal government came down with a mandate saying that R134 freon is what to use. If you have an old vehicle, R12 is probably going to be your freon. R134 is the new freon. You cannot mix the two freons. You will have problems. In replacing parts, you replace the part that has failed, but always replace the receiver dryer and the orifice tube. These are two other critical components back into the AC system that even if they haven't failed, they need to be replaced. This is David Lovett, and this has been your Mad Hatter Minute.
Welcome back to the show. It's that time again for your pet health tip of the week with Dr. Stephen Favaloro from Forest Park Animal Hospital.
Good to see you, Doc.
Welcome back to the show, Doc.
Thank you very much.
You know, dogs' medications, your pets' medications are rather special. So when your dog is sick, you go to the vet and he writes you a script and you do it. Now, can't we just buy over-the-counter stuff?
Yeah, you know, we see that all the time. You know, dogs get older, they're you know, limping a little bit. They want and play real hard with the neighbor's dog, and they're just not getting up quite as well. You know, so people are like, God, I want to help my dog out. What could I give him? Well, I take ibuprofen. Maybe I'll give my dog some ibuprofen.
Yeah, why not?
Well, because it's the #2 reported drug to poison control for toxicity in dogs.
Really?
Yeah, they don't tolerate it very well. They can't break it down. It blocks way too much of the prostaglandin that produces mucus in the stomach, and they'll come in with either kidney failure or stomach ulcers.
Just from ibuprofen?
Well, yeah, you know, it's funny because you can have a dog, like just yesterday I had someone come in and their dog was limping a little bit and it's been limping for 3 weeks, so now they got to get it in. And they've been given, I gave them one ibuprofen, and then they see that look on my face. I'm like, yeah, how long ago? And I was like, you sure it was just one? Well, it was one yesterday. Maybe, you know, one before that, one before that. And some dogs get away with it and some dogs don't.
But don't take the chance.
No, you don't.
And as an owner, you love your pet, and you want to relieve whatever suffering they may be in. You know, maybe they're hurting and they hurt them foot or whatever.
Always call your vet, I mean, because they'll give you good sound advice. And, you know, like Tylenol. Tylenol is very toxic in cats. Tylenol will prevent the hemoglobin from binding with oxygen in a cat, so they'll die of the cyanosis, like carbon monoxide poisoning.
Holy
If they don't die of liver failure first.
Wow, so just keep away from that. So now, conversely, you shouldn't take your dog's meds either, should
No,
you?
well, no, you shouldn't.
I mean, if my dog is on Xanax and I'm running short, can I take one?
Well, you can, but I wouldn't advise it.
Not that I'm taking Xanax or my dog's Xanax.
But another thing, too, you know, as we have an aging generation and people are getting older and living longer, you know, there's a lot of medicine involved with keeping your health. So, you know, a lot of times, you know, you fumbling around with your medicine, it falls down on the ground, you know, generally inconvenient spot. You know, it's like, I'll just get it later. Or it falls in the rug, you're in a rush, and you can't find it, and, you know, your pet will.
Yeah.
You know? I remember one time I had this lady, it was like 11 o'clock at night. She came in, she was elderly, the dog was like out, comatose, heart rate was like 30, the blood pressure was like bottomed out, and I noticed that she had a patch on her shoulder. And so, you know, we just got to talking and, you know, give it any meds, you know, anything like that. I was like, is that a fentanyl patch you have right there? And she's like, yeah. I was like, have you replaced it recently? She said, well, yeah, I threw it in the garbage, you know, this morning and replaced it. Sure enough, that dog ate the fentanyl patch.
Holy mackerel!
Yeah,
wow.
So you have to be real careful on how you dispose of your, you know, medication as well.
Well, that's true. I mean, if you're like on blood pressure meds, which a lot of us are,
absolutely.
I mean, if you take something as simple as an antacid, that may not necessarily be good for your dog.
There's a lot of other drugs too. Like I can't tell you how many times we get the call.
Nexium, that's another popular drug.
I just gave my kids Adderall. You know, because the dog's on, they got the pills lined up. This is for the dog. This
but
is
the
for
dog
kid.
can really focus well now.
Absolutely, yeah. So, you know, so there's, you know, just, you know, things that are important. You have to really be careful. Some of the medicines that we take are really not appropriate for dogs and cats, for that matter.
You got to be so careful because, you know, even you know how Karen is with Sandy. You know, the dog gets her heartworm on time and all that stuff, but. Yeah, men of a certain age have to take, you know, blood pressure meds and things like that, and sometimes they do get away from you.
Well, you know, and if you know you take Sandy's meds, you probably won't get heartworms for a month. And if Sandy takes your meds, their tail will probably be up for the rest of the day.
No, I don't.
Oh yeah,
that's how rumors get started.
That's right.
Bob.
But you know, I had a dog come in the other day. The owner had psoriasis, and they used a special cream for that. Well, the dog just chewed on it, get knocked it off the table, chewed on it, and it's got toxins in there that can cause severe GI upset and liver disease.
What if your dog has psoriasis or a skin condition? Can you kind of put some over-the-counter stuff on them?
Well, you can, but it may not be appropriate, and some of those medicines will get absorbed systemically, and if that, you know, it can cause some problems, particularly if they ingest it, you know, because there's not too many places you can put it on a dog where they can't get to it.
Well, the good rule of thumb, I guess, is call your vet.
Absolutely.
Make sure the meds are appropriate. Don't mix them up.
Very good.
And be careful with them.
Thank you very much.
Dr. Favaloro, thanks so much for coming on the show and giving us that pet health tip of the week, and the rumors are not true. I don't take that blue pill. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the show. I have Vivian and Bob Gutting here, and they are from the Gulf Coast Mineral and Gem Society. Did I get it right, or is it Gem and Mineral?
Gem and Mineral.
Gem and Mineral. I knew I'd messed that up on it. Welcome to the show. Either way, it's Gems and Minerals, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay. Now, the Gem and Mineral Society, what do you guys do? As the name implies, I guess, are you just rock collectors, or
No.
No, I'll let my husband explain this.
We have the equipment that we make our own gems, cabochons, and wire wrap, and different things like that. And we meet every Saturday, the second and fourth Saturday of every month, except August. And we have a meeting the second second Wednesday of every month, except during the summer.
So you actually, you're not just rock hounds.
No, we
but
make jewelry.
You make jewelry.
Absolutely, from start to
Is it
finish.
out of the gems that you find, or is it things that you trade and buy, or all the above?
Mostly, living in Florida, you can't find a whole lot, so we generally buy what we have.
Yeah, there's a lot of sand down here, isn't there?
Yeah. We start out with a rock, and we cut what they call a slab, and then from that slab we make different pieces. We have it over there showing you, but we can go from a rock to a finished product.
So you could take a rough hewn rock that you
Yes.
have either purchased or traded or acquired in some fashion.
There's another rock club. That's Panama City Rock Club, and they do the digs. So they go out and they find the things. So they have a dig coming up, I think, in August.
But they go out of state. They go to Georgia and Alabama, places like that.
Where the good rocks are.
Where the good rocks
Right.
are.
Okay.
Right.
And you get your rocks through them a lot of times, perhaps?
Yes, sometimes that, and sometimes we go to the shows. Now, they put on a show in February, at the end of January, 1st of February, that where you can purchase rocks or slabs or jewelry, already made jewelry.
Now, once you acquire these rocks, now I guess you have a workshop or something at home.
Yes.
Where you do this?
Well, we do, but we also have all the equipment in our clubhouse that you can do everything from start to finish.
How big is your club? How many members do you have?
About 20, I think.
I think we had 28 on roll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so you got about 28 people who are really interested in this stuff, and you have a clubhouse where you can actually work on it.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Yeah, we've got to run off to a break here in just a minute, but maybe on the other side of that, you can show me some of the things that you've made. And maybe some of the rocks that you've acquired. I think it's interesting stuff. I think it's kind of a be right back after these messages. Welcome back to the show. I'm sitting here in my beautiful Fohan kitchen with Vivian Gutting from the Gulf Coast Gem and Mineral Society.
Right.
I got it right. That's great.
Got it right.
Vivian, this is some beautiful stuff, and you've got some really interesting pieces here. Like here's a rough, I don't know what, but you can see the way you guys have sliced through this to reveal the inner beauty of this rock.
Well, you can see that this is the rough, the original rock. This is the way it would be.
Just a big
when
old
you
rock.
Dig it up out of nature. Then you come into a large saw, what we call just a rock saw, and it will have all diamond blade. Our blades are very expensive.
So a
we
diamond
have-
blade will cut through that
will
very
cut
slowly,
through
I would
very
imagine,
slowly.
with
It
water.
takes a while. A lot. No, we use oil.
Oil.
We use
Okay.
oil in cutting it, yes. And then we decided, and this has got some a crystal in it.
Oh yeah, you can see there's a
You
little
can see-
crystal formation
right.
on the inside here. I don't know if you can get a look at that. But in this little hole there are little crystals, and somehow you're going to try and reveal those crystals, I would imagine.
At some time.
At
But-
some time.
Or maybe not.
Now you can take a piece like that, and you'll wind up with a piece like this or this. And you can see on this one here, you've traced out where you want to cut it. Then I guess you're back to the diamond saw, right?
No, we're back to a trim saw.
A
Once
trim
we
saw,
do that,
okay.
we go ahead and cut off as much of that as we can.
And then you wind up with something like this.
Yes, right.
And then from that, you try to trim that down. Now, you put it on, and what did you call this clothespin again?
This is a dop stick.
A
and
dop
We
stick.
put it on the
You can see
wax.
this.
Dop wax.
So you can put this on your grinder and buffer to get it down to look like something like this.
Correct.
Which is such an amazing process. When you go from big old rock to a beautiful piece of jewelry like this, it's really amazing. How long of a process is this, Vivian?
Depends on the person. I
Yeah.
have a very light touch, so it takes me a long time to cut a rock. My husband can do it in about an hour.
And then from these type things, like we were talking about those crystals that were trapped in there, you put this beautiful piece of jewelry
Right.
together that shows these crystals. And Mother Nature really did a heck of a job
Yes,
on
it
this.
is.
And
We
you did
cannot
too, oh, by the
improve on
way.
Mother Nature.
Now, you made this, right?
Yes.
Okay.
We did the silversmithing on that too.
Wow. Wow. Vivian and Mother Nature working in league to bring you beautiful jewelry here. And here's another piece, just like, oops, I'm making a mess here, just like that. Wow. I mean, there's so much here to look at, Vivian. It's just amazing.
Well, this is some of the stuff that we do in the club in addition to teaching. And all of this is taught. This is an educational club.
So your members
So
can come to your clubhouse.
they can come,
I've got
not knowing
a picture of
anything,
your
and we will
clubhouse here.
teach them.
And look at this. It just looks like a little garage or something. And here's, it looks like someone's sorting through some stuff. And here's the shop itself with the saws and the oil baths and things. And this fellow Bob looks a little familiar. And look at him. He's over there cutting we've got a little glare on this, but good grief, you can see that there's a lot that goes into this whole process.
There is a lot that goes into it, but we enjoy teaching. It's a lost art. We cannot get the youth coming into this, and we need young people.
How do people learn? How do people get in touch with you? If they
Well,
want to
we're
join?
advertised. Usually, we advertise in the newspaper when we meet.
Do you have a phone number or website?
You can call me at 763-6656, and just ask to speak to Vivian. And I'll give you the information.
We are so out of time, it's not funny, but thank you so much for bringing all your beautiful work in here today.
Thank you for having us.
All right. And we'll see you next time.